Hello everyone, I'm drberkkkaratas. In the last video, I mentioned the 4 stages to overcome traumatic masturbation. And what were those stages? Let's briefly recap. The first stage is awareness, realizing the situation. The second stage is stopping. The third stage is the cleansing process. The fourth stage is replacing the wrong action with the right one. So continue like this until you reach a Mediterranean state by practicing proper masturbation. This cleansing process is very important. In the section of our program for patients with TMS, traumatic masturbation syndrome, we give special attention and care to this cleansing process because it needs to be done correctly. First of all, we need to do everything with the right logic and the right reason. Otherwise, it will be the complete opposite. I will explain shortly. So how long is it? At least 21 days later. Why 21 days? Scientific studies have shown this. Behaviors you engage in for 20 days or more start to be recorded as habits by the brain. So this 20-day period is important in every aspect. It's important to break bad habits. It's important in terms of sports. It's important in gaining a habit. It's quite important in every aspect. That's why we have a 21-day period. So what are we doing during this period? We will definitely do the breath and pelvic floor exercises. We will do it at least 10 times a day. There are a lot of breath and pelvic floor exercise videos on the YouTube channel. You'll learn the simplest one, which is abdominal breathing, belly breathing, and diaphragmatic breathing. At least 10 different times a day. Right before you go to bed. When you wake up, before eating. Like when you go to the bathroom, before you go, and so on. Especially at important points in your life, we will do this 10 times at 10 different times. It's a method that is much more effective than you think. The most important issue is sexual inactivity. Of course, we've been running a traumatic masturbation program related to sexual inactivity for years. We're also answering questions. A lot of young friends are asking about this. Will this mess it up? Will this mess it up? And so on. The point here is this: sexual inactivity. You will not engage in any sexual activity, but you will start intentionally and will not continue. So what are we saying? What does sexual inactivity mean? Not thinking about seeing, hearing, talking about, touching, or watching anything sexual. That's the point. These can be momentary. So on social media, you might come across something at any moment, or there could be momentary thoughts. These don't matter, but you will intentionally and consciously create this thought, for example, a fantasy. A moment came and you wanted to think about something. If you continue this intentionally and consciously, if you start playing with your penis for a long time or begin to watch something and masturbate, then this process gets disrupted. And when this process gets disrupted, you start over from scratch. Whenever it gets disrupted, it gets disrupted. If you want 20, even if it breaks down. In the evening, those 20 days, it starts over. I explained this part. Our way of thinking is also very important. Now, when we say sexual inactivity, we are not prohibiting these sexual actions that come to mind or the things one wants to do, because sexual desire, longing, and impulse are not things that can be prohibited or suppressed. Of course, you can try to prohibit and suppress them forcefully, but if you attempt to do that, a lot of issues will arise. That's why our mindset should be like this. You need to think like this. At any time you may feel a sexual desire during this purification process, or you might feel the urge to watch something, or it could be about your penis. Anything can happen. We will accept all of these as normal. When something like this happens, you will think like this. I've made mistakes up until now. Right now, I'm in a purification process. So whatever this desire is that comes up, I'm postponing this. Why? I will do it more properly later, but right now I'm in a purification process. You need to say it. So you need to be in that emotional state and have that mindset to practice sexual inactivity in this way. Here, I see a lot of things. I see a young friend, he says, I never masturbate. I was traumatized. I was masturbating. I realized masturbation for 6 months. That's not true. Why? You have completed the first 3 stages. Sorry, you have completed the first 2 stages in a nice way. In the third stage, you use suppression without postponing. You aren't doing the fourth stage at all, so this is not an appropriate approach. So, while practicing sexual inactivity here, you need to pay attention to your method, the duration, and also your strength, your feelings, and the reason why you're doing it. The word forbidden doesn't exist at all. There's only postponement. Don't forget this. Thank you.